Okay, we should be hearing it. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Everybody, can you hear me? Look at the t-shirt. It looks so horrible. At least I'm shaved. Or I was shaved today. Okay, there we go. Well, anyway, hey, Gnome Hunter. Hello there, MC Scott. Hello, Mr. Cuff. Welcome to Nightstream. I love that name, Nightstream. It's like I'm urinating at night. And that's what I do. I went out and had Chinese food. I didn't go out and have Chinese food. Chinese food was brought to me, and I had this much of chips, and I had this much of rice, and I had this much of meat. And like I had a whole meal, even though I didn't need to have it. I will wake up weighing way more tomorrow than I did today. And this is why I'm telling you guys what to do. Where is the chat box? I don't see the chat box. I don't see the chat box. Where is the chat box? Boxed, chat box, closed, boxed, boxed, boxed. It should be there. It's not on the screen. Why isn't the chat box on the screen? Is there any reason why the chat box is not on the screen? We're going to find out in a second. We're going to find out. I know that the start of these shows are always, they've been bad recently. They've been really bad, but you guys have come in. Maybe I should clip off the first 5 minutes of any of, or more of these shows. There's the chat box. There it is. Everybody. Evening all. Alan Williams. Welcome, Kermit. It's there. Thank you very much, Kermit. Mr. McCuff. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to Lewis Schaffer Nightstream. Welcome to Alan Williams's Nightstream and Mr. Cuff's Nightstream and Gnome Hunter's Mr. And Kurt, this is your Nightstream as much as it is mine. I'm blaming you. If it's bad, I've got to blame you. Who else can I blame? I'm not going to blame myself. I'm above reproach. I think the earlier show was okay, and this one's going to be okay, even though I feel like absolutely bloated from eating so many carbs. If I could throw up, I would. Am I allowed to talk about that? Could that be considered unhealthy? Is like, I think to myself, I'd like to stick my fingers down my throat and throw up. But I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. And maybe I should. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But that's the step. That's the stage of my food problems. You're thinking, oh my God, Lewis Schaffer, you are so great how you've managed to be thin and to keep the weight off all these years. And what you don't see is you don't see me just guzzling food. I'm a foodaholic. I'm a food. You opened another stream. That's why I did. And the producer came in very conscientiously and said, Lewis, you opened up another stream. I don't know why I opened up another stream. I think the reason why I opened up another stream, I'm not sure why, but I think I can not do it again. But thank you very much, Alex. Anyway, the Felix Biscuit. Evening, Lewis. Welcome to the Lewis Schaffer Night Stream, live stream, part of Lewis Schaffer Uncooked Incorporated. Felix Biscuit. Thank you very much. I too love food as much, Lewis. It's a struggle. It is really a struggle. It's a struggle. And when I call somebody fat, I'm not presuming that it's easy to stop being fat. I'm not. It's horrible. But that's why we have to stick together. You know, we have to stick together, and we got to figure out how to be alert and to know. The thing about carbs is it's addictive. You have one bit of horrible fried rice that's cold, and you have another, and then another, and then another. Here's a joke from Ian Higgs, which I appreciate. I used to think sticks and stones could break my bones, but words could never hurt me until I fell into a printing press. It's funny. It's very, very funny, Ian Higgs. Okay, the word on your street is that you dropped your Scrabble box. Here's another joke. It's a similar joke by Steve, Mr. Cuff. And then Kermit actually says, very good, Ian Haig. Okay, so we all love food. And because I love food, 30 minutes before the show, I had rice and chips and with some ketchup and then it was Chinese sugary. It's that Chinese sugary sauce that you have, right? Chinese sugary sauce, and now I'm paying the price. I feel heavy. I feel tired, and that's what sugar does. It you crash. You crash. It makes you fall asleep. Anyway, Chris Murray. Hey, Chris Murray. Ever heard of the magic tractor? Let's try to be clean, but thank you very much. We got lots of thank you very much, Chris Murphy. Where are you from? How tall are you? Are you a man or a female? Drove up the road and turned into a field. How tall are you? Are you fat? How much do you weigh? Are you fat? Same thing for you, Felix. Is that your name? Felix Biscuit? Felix Biscuit. Where are you from? How do you know about the Lewis Schaffer show? We can't just let anybody come in here and talk to us. It's like a club. It's like a club, though we're happy to have new people here. And I'm constantly watching everything. So welcome. The magic tractor, it drove up the road and turned into a field. Is that like a joke because it's like a field is something different than that? I don't know. You're wasting it on me. I've had the carbs, and I was doing so well a half an hour ago. I was doing so well, and that's the thing about this. I don't know. Where are you from, Chris? Are you a man or man or a woman? Are you fat? How tall are you? Whatever. All those questions. You said you had chips earlier, Lewis. Do Americans have proper chips or just what we call fries? I would have to say, you know how American food is. It's quite diverse. It's got so many different kinds of things from all over the place. But generally speaking, the kind of chips that we like, which is chip shop chips, big, huge pieces of fresh chips. I ate those as a kid, in the house, but no, I would say no. Chips are different than crisps. A chip, yeah, we wouldn't call it a chip. I call it a chip because I've been here for 25 years. I can't win, Alex. What can I do? Fries. It's not a fry. They were chips because they were like chip shop. They were big, thick pieces of chips, and they would. I mean, they weren't that good because they were cold. And then I heated up the next batch. I didn't eat very many, but it's really hard to say no. It's very hard to say no. It's like women. As I've said before, they're going to kill you, but you can't say no to them because they're delicious and delightful. You can't say no to them. I'm not going to say who I'm thinking about, but we don't have chips. We don't have chips. They are addictive. Yes. Carbs are sugars, and sugars are actually addictive. They increase your ability to want more and more. You have one chip in your mouth, it alerts every cell in your body to want more. It's not like, oh, these taste good, let's eat them. It's not like looking at a painting where you go, oh, this is nice, let's look at another painting. Man, I don't even know if that's a good example. Is that a good example? They're like something that actually goes into your, Yeah, chips are like women. They're going to kill you, but it's difficult to say no. You quote me on that. Yes, put quotes and says Lewis Schaffer. That's what I believe. But you have to look at it's like I look at girls and I'm thinking, I'm so lonely. Well, what could it hurt? What could it hurt? But it can hurt because, girls want specific things from you. They want specific things. That is what I'm saying. So that's what carbs do. I speak about carbs too much. If there's anything you're going to get from this thing is that Lewis Schaffer is against carbs. We got to stop eating carbs as much as we can. As much as we can. Hold on, let me just get rid of this thing here. So today we had a good show earlier. And so I was hoping we'd be able to keep this show going. Basically, we haven't been on a run of good shows because yesterday's show wasn't that good. But this show is brilliant.
We haven't been on
Hold
a
on.
run of good.
This show is brilliant. Is going to be brilliant. After my stomach, it doesn't even calm down. I just feel all wired. I feel like let's have more. Let's have more. These 24 hours days sure feel long. They do. I mean, I got an extra hour. I wouldn't say an extra hour of sleep because I never sleep. I'm a really bad sleeper. Are you guys bad sleepers? Maybe that you're bad sleepers. That's why you wanna listen to this thing. We've got 27 people watching, and we've got 11 people liking this stream. 11 people liking the stream. I mean, the thing about these days is it's all part of team world, globalist, feminist, socialist, communistic world, which is like there is no God, and humans can control the time. Of course, humans cannot control the time. Cannot control the time. But they think they're going to make us control. They're going to say, oh, it's better if we move the clock. The clock is not a natural thing. I mean, it is a natural thing, but it's not like the world, there was clocks before. The sun came up, the sun went down, the sun was right due ahead. This is what time was. Okay, the Express headline, tax rises will result in higher food prices. Talking to this government is like talking to a toddler. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. But do you know who recommended that you vote for this government? Do you know who recommended? I recommended it. I did, because I was so furious. I was so furious at the Tories for being such lying, phony scum. In a way, worse than Labor, because they're pretending to be different than Labor, and they've been horrible. Anyway, the point is that changing the time comes out of it doesn't come out of it, but it's the same people. They believe that. They believe that they can change the world because they're better. They're better than us. And that they're helping. They're helping. The left like to help. They like to help. But they're horrible people. Anyway, just seeing your post, Steve Cuff. You know that is true. Bodies in my garden. Joe Sanders. Yeah, women kill. They do kill. And they also can keep you alive. But they can also kill you. What do you do? What have you done, Joe? Have you killed any? Anyway, Lewis, what do you think about Sarah Pochin's comments about adverts being full of Asian and black people? I didn't see what she exactly wrote. I don't even know who she is. But I saw they got, it's like, they wanted this to be a bicultural, multicultural, diverse country way before it became that. They had a plan. I mean, where did this plan come from? Did it come from America? Maybe it came from America. Maybe because the French and the Germans, they want to take over the world, with their communist states. So they want to make it seem like this country, even when there are only 2 or 3%, black people in the country. You don't need a country with black people. I mean, you don't need to say we need a multicultural country in order for this country to be good. You don't need it. You don't need it. It's nice that they're here. A ship carrying red paint collided with. Here comes a joke, Ian Higgs. A ship carrying red paint collided with another one carrying purple paint, red and purple. Both crews are thought to be marooned. That's a good joke. I mean, it's not a great joke, but it's a good joke. It was something Lewis said. You probably guessed that, though, Mr. Cuff. Yeah, it was something that I said. I said about how dangerous women are. They're dangerous. It's nice to have them around. Like immigrants. A little bit of immigrants are nice to have around. A little bit of women are nice to have around, but not when they move into your house. Not when they move in. Not anymore. You think, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to have a girl here, a woman here. I call them women. But, that's, women are good. And maybe you need a woman to be there every second. Maybe you need it there. I don't need it. I had enough women when I was a kid. I'm 17% gay. Why am I 17% gay? Why? Because I had too much of a mother. My mother was way too much. You know, I miss her because she was way too much, but, you know, just, I don't know, but if women had more than two kids, like in my family, or one kid in my family, Mr. Cuff said that that's racist or paintists. Paintist, you know, the paint joke, because I think it's a good joke, but that's why I'm almost gay, because my mother was like way too much. She was like way, way, way too much. She wasn't so too much that I became gay, but she was way too much. Way too much. And I mean, she wasn't so much that I became gay, but enough for me to become 17% gay, and enough for me to do I miss her? Do I miss my mother? Not really. I don't miss either of my parents. Is that wrong? Grok says Hispanic people are white. Like there's no way of telling. Well, it's how you think of yourself. I don't think of myself as white. When I was growing up, Gnome Hunter or Blackadder, when I was growing up, we never thought of ourselves as white because we were Jews. And Hitler was killing us because we weren't white. We were Jews. We were black. Now people are saying that we're white Jews. I mean, it's like you can't win. You can't win. Look at this nose. I mean, yeah, it's a broken nose, but and look at how dark I am. I mean, I used to be really dark. Can you imagine when I had a black beard? And even when I shaved, I was like very Jewy looking. If that's the criteria, then I'm as fruity as a 1700s still image painting, says Gnome Hunter. You're very well educated, and I do appreciate that. Yeah. If your mother boyfriended you, which she kind of, a little bit to me, kind of did, because she wasn't getting enough love from her husband, and this is quite common, you know, so that they pick a child and they become they boyfriend her. And that's what happened to me. Michael J. Fox reversed his car perfectly into the garage. His father said, "Good Parkinson's." That's also funny, Mr. Cuff. Very good. We could talk about him. We could say, you know, I've heard some stories about Michael J. Fox that he does not have Parkinson's disease. That's what I've heard. I'm not going to discuss it. I'm not discussing it, whether he has Parkinson's disease or not. Is Leanne here? Where is Leanne? I don't see. Oh, I'm in top chat. How come I'm there? Where is Leanne? Let's get out of the top chat. Please remind me to go into live chat. There's Leanne. Where is Leanne now? German Jews, in other words, white. All Europeans are white. Well, the Germans did not consider the Jews, the Nazis, I should say, didn't consider us white like them. We were like an evil force with big noses and dark hair and whatever. And some of us did look like that. I just put a comment on and wasn't allowed. It was harmless. Serial killer may have been mentioned. I've been canceled by YouTube. Am I going to have to work on this and find out what's going on? That's not right, Joe. Hey, here's Leanne, beautiful CJ Leanne. Mr. Cuff and Alan. So there you go. Let's all say hello, beautiful CJ Leanne. Leanne CJ. There you go. Hello, Leanne. You're here. Alan Williams says hello. So what do we do about that, Joe? I don't want people blocked. I mean, I want to block people sometimes. I try not to block that many people. I'm not a blocker. I'm not like, I'm not going to say like who I am like. But I know somebody who just blocks everybody. The slightest little thing. You're blocked. I'm just happy to have you here. How many followers do we have? I think we've got one. Oh, okay. Maybe we've lost subscribers. We've got 1,140 something subscribers. So everybody, while you have a chance, go press the thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please, that's all I'm going to say. Please subscribe. Okay. All Europeans are not, well, Yeah, whatever. I mean, compared to a person from Africa, I'm white, but I'm closer. I mean, I'm Middle Eastern looking. I'm Italian. Well, Italians are white. I mean, what does it mean anyway? What does this race thing mean anyway? It's all a bunch of. And my hair is looking good. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you. You know what? The only thing that's missing about my haircut, Leanne, is your fingers running through it. That's an old joke I used to tell. Yeah, but yet again, the ends with the mustaches. Yet again, what's funny about the NAZIs is that their leader had that famous mustache, but nobody else ever imitated him. Why is that? Anyway, and yet again, some ends even hated fellow Germans for race mixing. Or other white races, clearly an untrustworthy source in terms of uncovering your identity. Well, back in the day, they didn't have DNA testing, and it's a question of which team you're on. Which team? Do you support the home team? I support this home team. It's not even my own. Well, it's my home now, but I mean, I'm not. Anyway, Charlie Chaplin, or was it the other way around? I think that mustache was quite popular at a certain time. I think Chaplin had it before this guy developed it, Kermit. That's a good question. Well, you've got the computer right there in front of you. I'd have to stop the show in order to look this up. So weird. I can say serial Xer, but I can't, but maybe not dead ex-boyfriends. YouTube is selective. Well, because they're listening. They have to figure it out. I just saw that they Google apologized for censorship, but they haven't changed anything. Whatever, and maybe they have. I don't know what they've done. I don't know if I'm allowed to say these names, really, because they think maybe I'm promoting it. I mean, that's scary because it's such anti-Semitism now, so they're afraid of promotion. Anyway, his assistant, Mr. Lur, with an him, had a similar mustache, but it wasn't as good as his. And Felix Biscuit had it first. Felix, where are you from? Where are you from? How did you find the Lewis Schaffer show? Did you see the video of some guy wearing a NAZI officer costume for Halloween? Isn't that what Prince Harry did? Because the war was a few years ago. People don't remember the war. What is that? That was the thing from Don't Forget the War. Don't forget the war. And that's why it is. Ian Hayes. That was the father, Ted. Candyman. Ian Williams. Alan Williams says that. I don't even want to say that. The father, Ted. I don't even know why I don't want to say that, and that. But I'm not saying it. You'll have to go look on the thing. Charlie Chaplin wore a toothbrush mustache, which is characterized by its vertical sides, narrow width, resembling the bristles of a toothbrush. Okay. I mean, he was a communist. They kicked him out of America. He was a communist. I'm against communism. I'm against kicking out great artists, but he was a communist. I didn't see that last film where, what is the one about the mustache man? Alex comes in and says, I've thought of doing that for years, laugh out loud, but they're expensive. It would be so funny to show up to a party wearing that uniform. I wouldn't walk down the streets wearing it, but maybe our new immigrants who think that he's a great guy, and the communists and socialists who think that Israel is so bad, they might be happy to see him. Have you seen a kid dress for Halloween wearing all black and carrying a Just Eat box? Have you seen the kid? I think you're making a joke. Not being creepy, guys. The boy started the rumor. I am innocent. What rumor? I saw the word indecent. I saw the word indecent, Joe. I'm sorry. My hair looks amazing, but it's missing Joe's fingers running through it. McCuff is laughing at Alan. McCuff is laughing at Alan. So we had the earlier show today, and I thought it went all right. I thought it went all right. Did you think it went all right? I thought it went all right. Considering yesterday's show, one of them did not go all right. I don't even know what all right means. I don't even know what we're doing here. But we might be doing something. It's satisfying to me. I hope it's satisfying to you. That's all I have to say. Right now, we've got 30 people watching it on a Sunday night, which is good. We got work to do tomorrow. Do you get as depressed as I know? We talk about this every Sunday, but do you get as depressed as I get? I'm not that depressed. I'm not a depressed person, but Sunday always feels a bit weird. It feels a bit weird. And I'm not sleeping well enough. If I slept better, I'd probably be a lot happier. So Mr. McCuff says, Alex, have you seen the kid dressed for her? Okay, that was a joke that Mr. McCuff made. I don't know. Is anybody here? Let's get this thing going up here and down there. Sorry, Lewis, using a different handle tonight as logged in watching from the TV. Okay, you're from Felixstowe. We have messaged on X. The other week, if you had your brief appearance on GB News after saying, very fat man. Okay, well, welcome. Welcome back. That's the problem with this thing. We don't know who the people are, and I can't see the images on the screen, but welcome, Felix. So you're from Felixstowe. Felix Biscuit from I holidayed in Felixstowe, I think. I think it was Felixstowe. I'm pretty sure it was Felixstowe. I had a girlfriend, I'm not going to mention her name, lovely girl, and we used to go to these places. It was so good. I should have been more enthusiastic and happy about it, but I really enjoyed it. I used to go to the beach, walk along the beach. We'd stay in a travel lodge or a bed and breakfast. It cost like 25 pounds a night. We would go to the charity shops. We'd go to eat in the Weatherspoons. We'd go put the 2-pound coins in the coin machines by the beach. This was really good times. You will sleep well tonight. Red Knight is here. Red Knight at morning. Yes, thank you, Red Knight. I hope to. I hope I'm going to sleep well. Why do you think I'm going to sleep well? I'm a little bit tired. Eating the carbs has made me tired. And before the show, I had a cup of tea. I said I need a cup of tea to get a little bit, worked up for this thing. But maybe I won't. John Wayne was a rat who kicked out a few people out of Hollywood, including Chaplin, I think. Do you want to know something, Alan Williams? The left, and I would have agreed with you, the left would think, they're rats. Communists were a threat to America. Look what communists are doing to this country today. Why wouldn't you want them kicked out? They want us kicked out, don't they? They do. They're kicking us out right now. So don't they want us kicked out? Of course they do. Okay? So Gnome Hunter says, yeah, you'd be arrested on the spot nowadays, but changing the color to brown, and you're all good. Soviet ones are brown, by the way. Yeah, well, the Soviets were no good either. But so with an NAZ, West London police wish to alert local residents about the activities of the infamous cross-eyed burglar. Cross-eyed burglar, pay attention to that. If you see this man staring through your window, warn the people next door of a cross-eyed burglar, because they're looking straight ahead. You think you look to the side. Okay, that's very good, Ian Higgs. Very, very good. North Koreans still use gear from the 20th century, Blackadder. Well, the 20th century was 26 years ago. I guess that is a long time for uniforms. Which volumes are we on now? There is no end. Which volumes of what? I reckon you are. No. We did go to Folkestone, but we also went up the coast of Felixstowe. Felixstowe is in Norfolk. Is it in Norfolk or is it in Ipswich? Not Ipswich, Southwark. Where is Felixstowe? We are by the beach, but no Weatherspoons, unfortunately. Okay, well that's a tragedy. What is, name some towns there, and I'll tell you if I was there. Maybe, I forget. Been to so many of them. But I've been to Folkestone too, which was amazing. Yeah, been there. Amazing. So Gnome Hunter says they fly yaks for God sakes. For God, they fly yaks for God's sakes. Laugh out loud. The same planes that fought the FW planes over Belarus are now being used to try and scare the U.S. with F-35s. Well, you can win a war with primitive elements. You can. You don't need to have the latest equipment as long as you're willing to die. Lewis, Ian's joke book. He's got a good joke book, as a lot of you guys do, which I do appreciate reading, and I will read them. Does anyone remember Clarence the Cross-Eyed Lion? Is that a book, Clarence the Cross-Eyed? Was that a TV show? Says Alan Williams. The largest container port in the U.S., yet about 15 minutes from Ipswich. Yes, isn't the poorest area Jaywick? Isn't Jaywick there, right by Felixstowe? Because I think we walked all the way down there, and you could see the beach at the far end of the beach that sticks out into the sea. Yeah, we're talking about the entire world. We're learning about stuff. Yes, Daktari. Felixstowe could be twinned with North Korea. Isn't Jaywick there? Isn't there like a really poor town? You're thinking of Clacton. We were. You know what? You're going to make me look at the map. I'm going to have to look at the map to see where this was. I didn't really have a choice, but I would say, she would say, do you want to go to Felixstowe? And I would go, yes or no. Felixstowe. Okay, we're looking at the map right here. Yes. I don't know if we were in Felixstowe. Yeah, across the way is Harwich, where the boats go. Yeah, brilliant. Clacton is not. I've been there. Maybe I haven't been to Felixstowe. I'd like to go up there. You can invite me. It was a TV show with Ghazi visual effects and wouldn't be made today. Well, a lot of things wouldn't be made today. And Ian Higgs go, Tracy Emmons lives in Margate. What does that have to do with anything? We're not talking about that. And then we're also talking about Iran's Air Force is also really weak. They use Shah-era planes. Yeah, well, if they were a bit nicer, they'd have tons and tons of money. They'd be like Saudi Arabia, but they're not. I'm utterly rubbish at geography, Leanne says. Joe, I can skip that. Geography is the most interesting thing, I think. It's like fixed. I love geography, but I love you more. That's the most important thing. The earlier show, what did I say? I said some really horrible things. They're not horrible. They were loving. They were a bit too loving. I remember Albert and the Lion by Stanley Holloway. Does that count? Says Kermit. I don't remember that. No way Alan Kumas is on GB News. Is he on GB News right now, tonight? Well, good for him. Remember who you're dealing with. This is, maybe when I was on TV, you just thought, oh, he's not being given a chance. I'm a loose cannon. I'm not mad at anybody. Children of the Stones, says Okay. Children of the Stones was a scary program when I was a kid. Doctor Who was nothing compared to it. Children of the Stones, Steve McCuff says. I never heard of that. Alan Williams. Was Lewis just doing that scene from When Harry Met Sally? What was that scene? About the fake orgasm? I didn't do that. I hope I didn't do that. Lewis. They got Adam Kumas on now live. Well, Yes. 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 They write articles about me saying I'm a bad person. You know, I mean, maybe they think, maybe they can sense my mid to late early dementia coming on, and I'm not reliable. Maybe they're bored of my ties. Who knows what the story is? You want me to have resentment and bitterness for people? I'm not going to do that. There's only one person who I'm still angry at, and I'm forgetting why I'm angry at him. Okay, the Witchfinder General is more interesting. It's just how things are. Well, I haven't seen any of these things. Alan, this is what Leanne says. Did you see the advert with both of them? I think it was Hellman's Mayonnaise. It was hilarious. I did not see that, but you're speaking to Alan. Lewis was pervy in an earlier show, but it was funny. So more pervy. I mean, it wasn't even pervy. I was just being serious. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to build an audience. I want as many people to watch this as possible. I want you to watch it. And what I said is I'll reward you. I'm not selfish. If you like me, I will like you. Maybe people don't want to be liked. Maybe that's the problem. You don't want to be liked, or maybe you do want to be liked. I'm going to like you anyway. Toxic Goy Hole, my favorite GB News guest. You were always the funniest on there. I do appreciate that. Toxic Goy Hole. I'm afraid of what that means. Toxic Goy Hole. Have we spoken before? Have you been here before? Is this the first time? Tell us all about who you are, how tall you are, how much do you weigh? Are you a boy? Are you a girl? How you know me? That sort of thing. Introduce yourselves. These are lovely people. Alan, Mr. Steve McCuff. These are good, smart people. Gnome Hunter says to Joe Sanders, certainly I had a teacher that was convinced that everything from that era was just fairy tale, and he gave the students that chose it for the project immense SHIT. I don't know those shows, but I do know that every single show has a political or religious, same thing, subtext, and it can be discussed. It can be discussed. Lewis, you have a lovely, interested, and interesting audience. Yes. Well, those two things go together, Joe Sanders. Yes, Lewis. This is people who are interested are more interesting, and the people who are interesting are interested. So you're right about that. That's so true, Joe Sanders. I appreciate that. So Leanne is saying, hey, Toxic. Toxic is right. You can't write too many words because there's like a letter limit. So you gotta make it short. But the most important thing, as always, is, are you fat? Lewis, I weighed myself, Alex. You're 72 kilograms. That sounds good. How tall are you? Probably you're fine. That's really good. 72 kilograms. Leanne, this is Alan Williams. I don't remember the product, but I saw the advert. I don't remember that. New here, just discovered you on the YouTube. I genuinely didn't think to look for yourself on the tube. On YouTube or on the tube. Yeah, well, I appreciate that very much. Toxic. Where are you from? Are you fat? But he's only 3'4". Yeah, that's why I hedged the bet. That's why I said, how tall are you? Because I know that he would be fat if he was 72 kilograms. But it'd be sad to be that small. Be really sad. I mean, women do not. 16 stone, 5'10", blue eyes, live in Manchester. Well, I will say this. I will say this to you. You're a bit heavy. You're a bit heavy. Have you been trying to lose any weight? Because I was similar to that. I'm 5'10", but I don't have blue eyes. But you sound handsome. How old are you? How old are you? You're 5'11", Alex. Yeah, Alex is 5'11". That's brilliant. I mean, blue eyes always sound good. I mean, there's fewer and fewer people have blue eyes. You're 40 years old. Are you married? Do you have a kid? Do you want a kid? You know, we got lots of beautiful girls here. Leanne is beautiful. Joe is beautiful. I mean, when the other girls come back, I think they're a bit bored of me, maybe, like Judels or Lorna or Lucy, but they might come back. Let's hope they come back. We'll get more girls. We're on a health kick. No carbs, yes, except what did I do today? I admitted having carbs. You're neutral in your toxicness. Okay, but you realize, I don't know. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. What is toxic? Does that say goy hole? Like you're not Jewish? Is that what that means? We want girls. We like girls. Leanne's a very pretty girl. Joe is a very pretty girl. What's the best way to be toxic? To be neutral. Yeah, well, we don't need neutral. We don't need neutrality. We need people with opinions. Are we the only girls in here? You might be today. Today, maybe because it's a late night show. I don't know what it is. It's more of a night thing. I don't know. We'll keep on going. We'll keep on going. I read it as glory hole. Okay. But it says goy hole. Probably tonight. Good job I came in to save you, Joe. Yeah, no, you don't. Joe doesn't want saving. She loves the men. She loves Lewis Schaffer, Leanne. Welcome to Epstein Island. Yeah, well, there's some similarities between. I used to look like him. We need 83% of the chat to be female. Why do we need 83% of the chat? Clearly, you had something else in time earlier. Laugh out loud, Alex. This is Gnome Hunter speaking to Alex. Why, Mr. McCuff, do we need 83% of the women to be female? Why? That's true because of the 17% Lewis. Okay, that's very funny. That's very, very funny. By neutral, I mean I don't be toxic to nice people. If you're a bad person, I see that as my cue to be toxic. Well, then that's not toxic. That's not toxic. If somebody's not nice to you, you're allowed to be not nice to them. Yeah, that would leave 17% to be male, Mr. Cuff says. Game on then, Leanne. So there you go. You got the two girls siding up. I didn't understand that, but what I like about you, Kermit, is you explain this stuff to me. I appreciate that. I appreciate you explaining that stuff. That stuff. All right, so there we go. How we doing? I think we've got, how many people are watching? In these days, that makes me toxic to some people. Yes, well, I mean, if you're a man, automatically people are going to look at you. That glass looks like a vase, Lewis. Did you take the flowers out first? What glass? What glass? Where is there a glass? Where is there a glass, Kermit? We appreciate you, Lewis. Thank you, Ian, and I do appreciate you. But I don't have to because I'm an internationally known comedy celebrity from New York who has recently appeared on GB News before he was canceled, possibly. Maybe they'll call me up. The thing is, back in the day, they needed programs on GB News, and they needed people to watch. Now they're doing very well, and they want to just maintain what they have, right? The glass you drank from. Oh, this. Oh, yeah, drinking glass. No, this I found in the street. I found this glass. It's a bar glass. It's not exactly a pint, or maybe it is. I don't think it's a pint. What was the question? The question was, did I have flowers? No, it's a glass. It looks like it's from a pub. Can you see that? It looks a bit dirtier than it really is, but it was clean. Thank you, Kermit, for being interested in my glass. Thank you very much. Yeah, you could be the Scissoring Sisters. Oh, I'd like that. Is that Adam Kumas on GB News? The world is upside down. I like Adam Kumas. He's a comedian. You're my second favorite comedian, says Jexy J. Who's your first favorite comedian? Who was your first favorite comedian? Let's hear this. Who was your first favorite? Toxic. Okay, Kermit says, thank you for coming in. Jaxie, when you have a moment, tell us where you're from. Tell us how tall you are. Are you a male or a female? Okay. Do you need diet advice? Toxic. These days, anything is toxic depending on the person, the day, the weather. Yeah, it can be. Yeah, says Leanne. That's what Leanne says. Mr. Cuff says, where did you find the glass, Lewis? I don't remember. I actually don't remember. I was thinking that today. Do I remember where I find things? Sometimes you find things and you think, well, where did I find them? Like, I don't remember where I found this shirt. I could have stolen it from my kid. Al Murray. Yeah, well, you picked a good one. For me to be the second one, I think that's great. I remember that the person who said, my biggest fan, Shawnee Sean, another Shawnee Sean, used to say to me that he was I said, Sean, you're my biggest fan. And he said, you're my third favorite comedian. Okay. Toxic Goy Lord. What does the name Goy Lord mean? You're becoming more and more British by the day. Taking a glass from the pub is extremely British. I didn't take it from the pub. I did not take it from the pub. Yeah, you find enough of these glasses on the street. You don't need to take it from the pub. I got 1 million glasses here that I found on the street. You're becoming more and more British. Taking a glass is extremely British. It's the only exception. It's the only exception to stealing in the UK. Toxic, that's the old UK. The new UK doesn't understand that. It's crime rate. Sean Locke. Oh, he's brilliant too. If you told me that your favorite comedian was Sean Locke and I was your second one, I would go, that's a real honor. I appreciate that, Alan Williams. I appreciate that, Alan Williams. He even said vars instead of vase. Vars. No, I said vase. 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 I would say vase or vase. Vase. I wouldn't say vars. I'd say vase. Why? What is the right way to say it in this country? Toxic. That's probably what would be written in our Constitution if we ever had one. Yeah, could be. But could be. Anyway, I've started eating more meats and less carbohydrates. Well, there you go, Toxic. Grain is for feeding animals or making beer, not for us men and women to eat. Well, you put that on a T-shirt and I'll buy it. I won't buy it, but put it on a T-shirt. That's right. Grain makes us fat. It raises our sugar levels and causes inflammation, which causes disease. Please say you don't drink from glasses you found off the street, Lewis. Well, why shouldn't I? You wash it. It's clean. I'll show you what I found yesterday. Did I tell you that I found what I found yesterday? This is what I found this. Can you see what that is? I don't know if you can see that. I found this on the street. It's pajama bottoms from my favorite shop, Primal. And then this, I found a T-shirt. Look at the perfect T-shirt from Primark. Can you see that? And it's dry. You know what I'm going to do? I'll wear it tomorrow. It'll give you an incentive. It'll give you an incentive for tuning in. I'll wear it tomorrow. Of course you drink. What, you're saying you don't? You're saying you don't, Alex. Alex thinks I shouldn't pick up a glass. Vars. Vars is the way we say it. Is that true, Kermit? Yeah, you don't say vars. We say vase, like with an H, if there's an H somewhere in there. Alex, why not? It's the best place to get vape, so why not glasses? I'm not obsessed with germs anymore. I don't care. I think to myself, why am I even washing my own dishes? Just like use it the next day. Sometimes I don't wash it because I use an iron pan. Yeah, iron pan. Yeah, it's fridge time. There you go. We have too many possessions. We totally do. I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna make a note to set up my Vinted account. My Vinted account, basically. Primark is cheap already. Yes, it is cheap. But why should I pay £2 or £3 for a T-shirt when I can find one on the street? I found this on the street probably. I mean, that's what I do. I used to go to charity shops, but you reach a certain age, I can't buy anything anymore. I've got too much stuff. Look at the stuff that I've got. Look at this stuff. I just got tons of stuff. You don't even want to see this stuff, but I got tons of stuff. Sorry. We don't, though. Snow Hunter says, we don't have a constitution. It's all built on tradition and convention, yes, for a like-minded people. But when the people are not all like-minded, you need a constitution, which is what makes America great. Well, we actually say vars. Vars. You wouldn't say vase or vase, vase, Kermit. Leanne is laughing. Leanne laughs. Alex. Lewis. Them bottoms probably got jizz stains, all of them. I know. And I'm very lucky. I'm lucky. There are some jeans that I found that don't have jizz stains, but I wear them anyway. Yeah, so what if they've got jizz stains? Do you think it's going to kill me? And I wash it. I'm a dirty man. I don't care anymore. I used to be so clean. Oh, my God. I was absolutely the cleanest guy. I used to take a shower, 2 showers a day, shaving I was always that way. What's in the fridge? I don't know how. I can't move the camera around. I probably could, but I'm not going to. What's in the fridge? Basically cheese, butter, and meat and eggs. That's what's in the fridge. There's no carbs. There's not one bit of carb in there. I've got another refrigerator down the way there that I put the carbs in there. Okay. I can't help that successive governments has hidden this truth from the people. What the jizz on the pants that I find in the street? I call them pants. I mean trousers. They're pajama trousers, I think. Lewis, you're wearing bright today. It looks good. I think it it's better for my skin. It's better for my skin. It's written in many books, not one piece of paper. Well, it makes the American Constitution. It's the best Constitution in the world. Because it's like if you left it up to the Democrats, it would be, they take that piece of paper and they say to the Democrats, you can't do this. Anyway. God bless you, Toxic. Alex Armstrong is currently interviewing Vampira. I don't know who she is. He is. Vampira. But your clothes comes out greasier when they went in. Kermit, that's what my son said. He said it. It's not greasy. It's clean. It's clean. And I smell clean. I smell lovely. But I appreciate you pointing out my weaknesses for all these people. I appreciate that. These people don't need to know that. Too many showers is bad for you anyway, says Jexy. Yes, it's true, Jexy J. It is true. I take about 2 showers a week with no soap, maybe 3. Depends. Where are you from, Jexy J? And how do you know of the Lewis Schaffer live stream? How do you know of this? This is why the English have common law and the Scots have Roman law. I did not know that. This says Toxic. I didn't know. I know they've got a different kind of law than we have. It's not that simple, Goy Hole. There is no constitution in Britain. No, there is no constitution. I mean, a constitution is a simple article that's fixed, and it needs a lot of work to change it. Would you wear women's clothes? I have worn women's clothes. I might be wearing women's underwear right now. Like, what did I say on the TV? I said, anyway, common law doesn't work here anymore. None of the courts follow it. That's true, because we don't have one country. We've got a country that has judges who aren't from this country, who don't believe in this country. Some of them don't. So that's why it doesn't work. The American Constitution is the distilled words form are the original Constitution written in many books, slimmed down to one piece of paper. It comes from Britain. It comes from all these great men who left Britain and said, we don't want to make the same mistakes that Britain makes. Maybe one day there'll be a constitution here. Let us pray. Set up an Amazon wish list and people can buy stuff for you. That's actually a good idea, but I don't need any stuff. I don't need an extra pair of pajamas that I found in the street. I don't need another T-shirt. Has any single one of you said, why doesn't Lewis wear a khaki green, I think it's khaki, a green T-shirt? Why doesn't he have a green T-shirt? Has any one of you, not one of you have even said anything like that to me. I'm from the UK, came across you on GB News. You're the best person on there. Well, I really appreciate that. I hope if you listen to this show enough, you will keep on thinking that and won't go, oh my God, is that the guy that I thought I liked? I think I'm a bit louche on this show. I think I'm not as focused. And I also think that there's, it's not the same structure as the TV. But Jexy, thank you very much. Where in the UK do you live? Are you fat? We heard it here first. Laugh out loud, Joe Sanders says. The Magna Carta was ours, but it was all about legislation and acts. It was called acts because it's all an act, the Magna Carta. Yeah, there's certain things, but it doesn't talk about the Parliament or stuff like that. Does it? No, Mancha says the Magna Carta was more so for the Pope getting what he was owed from John rather than actually securing the rights of the nobles. And it was about the nobles, wasn't it? Was it not? Vatanai is here. Hey, Vatanai, our Constitution is unwritten, but it exists nonetheless. No, it doesn't. You can't say it's in the Constitution. No, if you don't have it's got to be written down. It's got to be written down unless you remember it word for word, like in, what's the one where they remember the thing word for word? Word for word. What was the film? I forget the name of the film. Yes, I've got one. It was bought for me. One of the, I'm not going to say who, but one of you people bought me a trash collecting grabber device. Yes, that is so nice, Ian Higgs. But the answer is I've got one. Alan Williams says, every girl I ever dated wore my clothes at some point. Weird the other way around. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's actually true. That's unless you were a rock star. Rock stars were so skinny. They used to wear girls' clothes. That's actually true. I mean, nice boys' clothes are really nice, especially on a girl. A nice T-shirt, not a nice shirt with the collars. What are those called? Oxford shirts? Okay, but thank you, Ian Higgs, for the offer. I do appreciate. Don't buy me anything until you find out whether I need it. People buy me stuff. Really lovely, lovely people buy me stuff. And I don't need it. So I'm not even going to mention what was bought for me because you might just have it in your mind and think, oh, did Lewis say he wanted this? Then I'll have two of them. I'm losing behind the stream. Alan, we are on to fetishes again. Not sure I've been on a stream without some sort of fetish. Well, we could talk about fetishes, I guess. Let's try to be nice and not use dirty words. It's in many books. I can't help if you all keep being idiots and keep listening to the establishment who is always going to say we don't have a constitution. What book is it in? Show me the book. Show me this constitution. If people remember the actual words, could have been Fahrenheit 451. Do you remember that book by Ray Bradbury? Fantastic. That's one way to look at it. But if there isn't really a physical copy, then how real is it? Exactly. Get not even a physical copy. And if it's not physical, you can amend indefinitely, and therefore it doesn't exist. It's established practice, which is something different. And even then, you have to prove established practice instead of looking at an actual piece of paper that says this is what you got to do. Well, you're allowed to be less structured, Lewis, says Hi-Ho Kermit. You're at home and wearing borrowed knickers Tra la la. I wouldn't say the knickers are borrowed. I think they're more stolen. They're more stolen. I've snuck in. I'm not going to say where I got them from. As much as we should be living under a common law, there are too many sheep, too many straw men. This is what Mr. Cuff says. I mean, the law is changing too fast. That's the thing Americans don't understand about this country, is how fast the law can change. You know, there's one election, the guy says, I'm bringing over the bill. And it's like, wait, we never even discussed it. Well, we have now. Yeah. Are you sure they're borrowed? Hi-ho. That's right, exactly, Joe. They're stolen. Maybe you could send me underwear. That would be nice. That would be an indication that things are going well for Lewis Schaffer. If you sent me, I maybe should set up a post office box or something. A post office box for you to send me your knickers, and you could, or your boys' underwear too. I could wear it. Toxic. You want to go into semantics? Then bring me those books, because there simply isn't one. A collection of traditions, conventions, and unofficial means of governance does not equate to what? It doesn't equate. It's not enough. Are you sure that? Okay. The British have known rights. Only English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish have them. Yeah. Well, we know what our rights are. But we need something that writes down all of our rights, like in the amendments, the First Amendment, the right to have freedom of speech, freedom of guns. These are things that were added in after the Constitution was approved. They said, we've made a mistake. The American Wild Mess must have been fun. But we had the Constitution even back then, and we had judges going on circuits, riding around from town to town. Do you sniff the knickers you find off the streets? I don't think, you know what? I actually found yesterday, maybe I'll go out and see if I can find it, a neck, like a hat, but the thing you put on your neck, made out of wool or cotton or something, whatever. I'm not going to say whether I do or not, and how dare you even ask me. No washing line is safe in Nunhead. When was the last time you saw a washing line anywhere outside in London? Yeah, not borrowed. Far more interesting to steal it. Yes, Joe, it's stolen. Stolen underwear. I'm not advocating that. Don't put me on a list. Graham Moore, Anna DeBC, two people who both know we have a Constitution. Okay, so Toxic is promoting the Constitution. P.O. Box. I'll have to set it. I'm going to write it down. I need a P.O. Box so you can send me stuff. Am I right? Courts, government, and authorities are corrupt. There's nothing you can do about it, as the decision makers are the ones that are corrupt and running the place. I mean, I don't know. It seems that way. I mean, how are people coming into this country like crazy? How did that happen? Nobody knows. That's what's so weird about it. What is happening? Why is it happening? We don't even know why it is happening. We don't even know what is happening. We wake up today and, and there are millions of people who are just in the streets. Who decided that? I don't know. Good point, Mr. Cuff, Steve. You are dancing with words. Are you going to tell David Starkey the Constitution doesn't exist? Or Ralph Heidel, Mancu? They refer to the Constitution all the time. Well, I'm sorry, they're delusional. You have to be able to hold it up. This is the Constitution. If you look on Article 6, page 7, it says this. Where does anybody ever say that? I never saw one English person ever do that. You are dancing. Basically, what they say is the last judge who had this case says it was okay. That's I think, isn't that the British court system? So that's what Vatnai says. So you think there is a constitution, Vatnai? I disagree with you. Okay, we're about to use words that I don't know the meaning of. Never thought I'd see a conspiracy that there is a document of government that doesn't actually exist. Yeah, there is no document of government. There's no conspiracy. There isn't one. The British have none. All guests have none. Only the English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish have rights because rights come with duty, and the British establishment has no duty to protect you. So what does that mean? They've got no rights? Because shouldn't it be the other way too? I don't know. How does that mean, Toxic? You seem to find a lot of clothes on the streets. Yeah, I'm looking. There's lots of stuff I find, but I don't take home because it's just me. It's just me. You know what? It's just me. Yeah, I find stuff on the street. What's wrong with that? What's wrong? Look at my Primark T-shirt. Fantastic. Lewis, okay, Lexi, you seem to find a lot of clothes. Yes, I do. Do me, Jexy. I find clothes on the street, and I pick it up. I find glass on the street, and I pick it up. Or I go to charity shops, and I save money. This I got in CEX. It's not that set. Anyway, what is a snood called, Leanne? What does it mean to be a snood? My friend's girlfriend wears lingerie, which on the front says, "I will do anything for love." On the back it says, "But I won't do that." Ian Higgs. That's funny. That's very, very funny. Not very, very funny, but funny enough. Funny enough. We're making our day better. This is the end of this is the end of the week or whatever. Tomorrow is the new day. There's a new day coming. Yesterday is past. Let's all start living. Taking clothes off of washing lines that aren't yours is called snow dropping. Snow, says John Miller. Hello, John Miller. Snow dropping. Okay, interesting. Is that true? Have any of you heard that? What John Miller just said. It calls it snow dropping. Anyway, McCuff asks Jexy, lots of naked people lying in the street outside Lewis's place because I've taken their clothes. There's stuff, you find stuff on the street. People throw out so much stuff around here. I saw an IKEA. I should post a picture of I couldn't take it. It was too heavy. I already had stuff in my hands. We used to run down the back alleys of Salford through all the washing lines, with some stray dog chasing us in Salford, Kermit. Yeah, well, you could see that, they had the alleyways. They still have alleyways up there. We don't have alleyways here. There's no alleyways here, alleyways are good because you can put the rubbish back there. Here we've got the rubbish right on the street, which makes the streets a bit messier. That's an interesting point, Kermit. But Jaxie, I want to thank you for mentioning naked people. Naked people. Are you a boy or a girl, Jaxie? It sounds like you're a girl because of the name Jaxie. Okay, so people like Ian's joke. Leanne did. It's only imports and the government that insists we don't have one. Have one of what? A constitution. Why would they deny the thing that tells the natives they can be armed? That's true. That's true. That's why that is true. And God bless America that there are millions and millions of guns there. And the people will use it to defend themselves. I'm not advocating gun usage, but it keeps people honest and happy. Keeps people honest and happy. Guns. I never had a gun. I never saw a gun until I was 18 years old. Nobody had guns. All right. This is good. Interesting how we are going so seamlessly between U.S. law and finding dirty pants on the streets in the U.S., Jexy. That is true. Because I can discuss anything, and as most people can. I'm now behind. Everybody stop writing. Stop writing just for a second while I catch up. Why would they lie about the lack of one? No, why There is no constitution. I've never seen it mentioned. I don't think there is. That's that's like one conspiracy a bit too far. I would believe flat Earth before I'd believe the British have a constitution. Like the cop who stole knickers while searching a house. Yeah, well, you're in somebody's house. Yeah. No, Lewis, you are delusional. You are. Remember to put apostrophe in your. Remember when you see the word you, Y-O-U-R, it's a red flag. Be careful. You are a guest telling the natives that they have no rights and duties. Dangerous game. I did not say that. I didn't say that. I'm an invited guest. Yes, that's true. But I'm saying they do have rights and they do have duties. It's just not written on a piece of paper in one piece of paper, however many pages it takes. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't have any rights. I'm the opposite. You've just joined this thread. You've just joined it. I've been fighting for this fucking country. And for you to say that I'm saying you have no rights, I'm saying people here have to fight for their rights. Toxic. So there you go. Women shouldn't even let me look at their clothes, let alone wear them. They take them off almost immediately. They take them off almost immediately. What if you look at a girl's clothes, she would take them off and give them to you. The lack of a constitution does not equate to lack of rights. Do you hear what you said? That's what he's saying. He's saying, I don't think that English people have rights. I think they do have rights. Maybe they don't have any rights in this country. That's why Keir Starmer, that's why people can't even sue. They should be able to sue Keir Starmer. That's like what happened in America. They sued Donald Trump and he won, or Donald Trump has sued them and Donald Trump has won. Basically, maybe there is no rights. Look what Keir Starmer and Boris Johnson did with the millions of people. Just basically shit on the entire fucking country. Sorry, that's too much. That was like really extreme of me. I want to apologize. Interesting how we are going so seamlessly. Yes, I gotta go back on track. We're doing good. We're doing good. A snood, thank you, Kermit. I asked this question a while ago. Is a material tube you wear around your neck and you could pull over your head like a hood is a snood. Yes, okay. I thought you were talking about something else. It was a snood. It was one of those things, and you could pull it up, or you could have a neck thing. Yeah, that's brilliant. I think that's amazing. This is the best show ever. It is. We're talking about Constitution, constitutional rights of the UK. Got to do a big debate about it. Thank you very much, Alex, for saying that. This is the best show ever. Toxic. Do you mean that Britain is different to English Scots? As in old time, we had rights before we changed to Britain. Like we had English rights, and now because we're part of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, the English people have lost their Englishy rights. Is that what you're saying, Leanne? That's an interesting point, I think. I'm really agitated now. I won't be able to relax. Sorry. Okay, let's what do we need to do to calm you down? Everything's going to be fine. Lewis, the neck thing you found is called a snood. Thank you, Leanne. I do appreciate that. Well, it's better if you get the clothes before the wash, that presuming that I'm going to sniff them. I don't take clothes after. I'm one of these guys, you know. I'm not a great guy. I do a lot of bad things, but I don't steal people's clothes, you know. And if I do, you know, I found a box of tools that somebody had stolen and left lying around. And I took it home. And I asked my girlfriend, whose father was a worker with a box of tools like that, is it okay? And she said it was okay. And I just didn't feel it was we took it, but I didn't think it was, but like the next day, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I took that thing. The neck thing it's called a snood. Okay, there you go. Okay. What's going on? Oh, I can't make this thing work properly. Okay, so let's get back. Oh, here we go. So Toxic says, to Leanne, to us, 100% correct, period. English men and women have rights and duties, period. The British don't, period. They have contacted, they have a contacted or contracted men just following orders. Well, Britain doesn't really exist. It's just the islands. It's like the Soviet Union, you know. Britain lost something when England lost something when it became Britain. Jexel says, and it's not the strangest conversation we have had by far. So that's it. I'm flattered, says Joe. Gnome Hunter says, so you think there exists a separate government of Englishmen and the British central state? I'm just trying to understand what this unmedicated ramble is. Well, let's be nice to everybody. We're not getting into an argument over this. We've had such discussions and we haven't gotten into arguments. We're getting into arguments over the Constitution. That just shows how important it is. Joe has a section on her dungeons. Hi-ho. I don't know. I guess that's that game. The British has always meant establishment, Toxic says. That's why they are importing the old empire to keep the monarchy in its place. Could be. The monarchy represents the globalists, as I always say. I'm old enough to remember, this is Alan Williams, when the local dogs used to run off to the park together, and then they'd come back when they were hungry. Yeah, that's like, I've been in countries where they have just dogs just running around. I didn't know that to be the case. But the whole parks were filled with dog poo. Now it's filled with dog poo in bags. It's like people leave the bags lying around. The monarch knows we have a constitution. He knows he has been paid off to not do his one job, executioner of parliament. Well, historically, yeah, Parliament has bought him off, or whatever Parliament has done. I don't know if it. I don't know. You'll have to convince me. I'll have to go and look at that name. I'm not going to look, but the names that you gave me about the people who believe. Do you believe in a flat Earth? Okay. Wow, Lewis, that was almost GB News passion. Yeah, people are discussing things like it's GB News. Like it's GB News. Ellie Wheatley of GB News. How are we a constitutional monarchy? I don't know. How are we? I don't think it is a constitutional monarchy. Literally anything you name it. If you ever hear me, here spelling differently, me saying poo, we in bedpans, it's a nod to the rabbit holes we go down talking about poo, we, and bedpans. Leanne. This is what Leanne, yeah. We talk a lot about poo and bed. I don't know if you talk about bedpans. I mean, why would you use a bedpan? You just use a pickle jar. There's no constitution, so it can't be called a constitutional. That's true. It can't be called a constitutional. It's basically there are no rights anymore because it's not written down, and the king, the prime minister, does what he wants to do. He's letting in millions of people. He can't stop them. What a liar! Starmer keeps on calling it his government, and it winds me up. There is no English government. That's possibly true. He's the prime minister. The question is, who is he the prime minister of? He's the prime minister of the king, right? Of the king. Of the king. Right? Of the king. I think we're running out of time here. I'll look at all the great comments that everybody's made. People are wound up, Lewis. Nearly all my exes are dead. Hence the feeling and belief in this dream that they are all buried in the cellar or the garden. Yeah. Well, let's not kill anybody else. What we're going to do is we're going to say goodbye to everybody. We've had 90 minutes. Have you enjoyed this chat? Have you enjoyed it? If you've enjoyed it, can you please put the thumbs up on the thing? If you've watched it, thumbs up, please, thumbs up. Can you Toxic, can you press the whatchamacallit thing? The subscribe alert. Can we contribute something to keep the stream going? We're on every single day, twice a day. It gives us something to do. It gives me something to do. But, I'm about to starve to death. Not even, it's worse than starve. I'm about to worse than starve to death. The bankruptcy people are coming. Okay? The bankruptcy people are coming. So let's go to Patreon at Lewis Schaffer or PayPal.me at Lewis Schaffer. Let's go to Ko-fi at Lewis Schaffer. Go on Discord. You can continue discussing this on Discord. We could do that. Well, thank you very much. If you're saying nice things about me, I'm going to say something very nice. I appreciate that. Good night, Lewis. I have followed and hit the like. Thank you very much. Thank you. Everybody give Toxic a big round of applause for this discussion. And I hope we should continue this. The next time you're on, we should continue this. Whether Britain has, I think the reason we're not going to go too much longer is because 90 minutes is enough. Joe has loved the show, and you are innocent. To me, in your eyes, you are innocent. All those dead men that you killed, they would have died anyway. So you are innocent. It's great to have newbies here. Yes. Wow. Yeah, twice a day, 5 to 6:30 and 10:30 to 12. Come back. Every one of these shows is different, right? And, I think it's really good. We'll come back and we can discuss it more, right? I don't think we can maybe have a poll. Does Britain really have a constitution? How about that? We can do a poll. Does Britain, what is Britain anyway? Does the UK have a constitution? We could discuss it. Jexy, same thing. Thank you very much for 5 thumbs up. So I hope you press the thumbs up thing there. I hope you subscribe so we'll let you know. Come back and we can discuss everything. I think truth over lies. Laugh out loud. Thank you, Truth Over Lies, for coming in. Next time, come in earlier and talk to us so I can see you. Leanne McCuff, John Miller, always great to see you. Truth Over Lies. I didn't see what you wrote. The English Constitutional Party. Try looking it up. Are they saying this? We'll have to look it up. The next time we'll look it up. It's Sunday at 12. I mean, even though it's like 11, isn't it like 11? Anyway, so Alan Williams and Leanne and Gnome Hunter and Kermit, of course, amazing. And Toxic Goyhole, appreciate you being here. Vatanai, great. This has been a great stream. I want to thank you very, very much. Thank you very much for coming here. Alan Williams, for bringing sense and sensibility. If I'm wrong, if there is a constitution, I'll say, okay, I was wrong. There's a constitution. There's a British way of doing things, or English, let's put it this way, an English way of doing things. And over the last 5-10 years, it's basically been thrown out. So where is this constitution? Okay. So I think this has been our best show ever. Do you think this has been our best show ever? I think it's been our best show ever. If I haven't mentioned your name, maybe Alex or Vantanai or whatever, if I haven't mentioned your name, write the name on the bottom, right below. We're gonna go to the stream start screen, but I'm gonna press the end screen button in about 2 minutes. It's the best show ever. Thank you very much. Night, night, Jexy. We'll see you soon. Alex, I mentioned you before, but I'll mention you again. Alex. Let's everybody throw Alex a wave and a kiss. Good night. And everybody a wave and a kiss goodnight. Best show ever. That's right, Kermit. That's right. Tomorrow at 5:30, we start a half an hour late. We're at Nunhead American Radio, which is on Resonance, and then we do this show at 5:30 to 7 o'clock. 5:30 to 7. Did you hear that? The show starts tomorrow at 5:30 because we're doing another show before that. Yeah. It's like we're having a conversation. That's right, Toxic. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow or any day. 5:30 we do tomorrow, 5:30 to 7.